Well, hello there, vinyl community. It's Jacob coming to you from the Dallas Open Micer YouTube channel. Sorry, I got a bit of a crick in the neck here. What I'm doing in this video is responding to a contest that was put out by the Vinyl Scavenger channel. The Martin Parrott, the civilian name of the gentleman that operates that channel. He's put together a CD, and you got a chance to win it. Well, how do you win that CD? You enter this contest. I'll probably be making quite a few or several videos in response to Martin's contest requirements. Here's the first one. What am I going to be showing here? Some vinyl scavenges or scavenged records with some stories. Some tales. I will not be showing my greatest scavenge or record find in this video. That'll be in the next video entry. But if you're somebody that wants to see a great scavenge, I've got one for you. I'll be showing you something that I don't want any robbers who might be walking outside the door to hear me say this, but I'll show you a scavenge that some of this box down here, median price there on Discogs, $209 American. So if you like to think about the monetary aspects of the records, well, there I got something for you. Otherwise, this is just going to be a lot of droning and blathering and self-indulgent talk about the things that I enjoy myself. Anyway, welcome aboard. Let's see what we got. I got a box of records here. You can't see it; they're just down there. And in that box, I've got a sampling of different things that are going to reflect, what I expect to find when I go out scavenging. Primarily, in this case, in record shops with clearance sections. Let's see what I got. I got a CD. Look at that. Do you expect to see that? I still pick these up when I go out scavenging, and one reason is there are some of these things that didn't happen on the vinyl records. So here's a Norm Macdonald stand-up. Just was reading on the internet today that we'll be getting another Norm Macdonald special at the end of this month. I've canceled my Netflix subscription. That's where the special is going to be aired. So if you'd like to share your Netflix username and password in the comments below, that'd be awfully nice of you, so I don't have to resubscribe just to watch this. And here's a neat thing about this one. If you look at the notes, you got Norm's good friend Billy Joe Shaver makes an appearance. They're providing some music to kick the special off. There's a scavenge. I do like to pick up comedy albums to listen to in the car. What else do I have here? Oh, it's another CD. Here we've got Billy Joe Shaver and Eddie Shaver's autographs on this Shaver release from the 90s, Highway of Life. And this is a scavenge find. I did not pay any hefty premium for this timeless keepsake here. It was just in the regular used CD bin, sold at a used CD price, which is not all that high these days. There we have it. I did put a clean jewel case cover on that one, but there we have it. A nice scavenge there, a treasured keepsake from Billy Joe and Eddie Shaver. All right, it's a good album too. What else do we have? I wonder if we got any more Billy Joe Shaver connections here in CD form. Oh, we sure do. Got this Johnny Cash box set. That was a Scavenge. I had been meaning to pick up a copy of this because he did some recordings of his favorite songwriter, Billy Joe Shaver. Got Johnny Cash singing "I'm Just an Old Chunk of Coal" on here. And I found this in the clearance section of a shop, and I thought, I wonder if some scumbag had, this got this kind of fabric cover here, had peeled the sticker off and was trying to mix this in with the clearance item. So I, brought it up to the counter and talked to the record pricing guide, or the media pricing guide, and said, "Hey, there's somebody trying to rip you guys off." He said, "Yeah, don't worry about it. You can have that for the clearance price." There we go. Purchased this for the price of one CD. All right, let's take a break from the CD, and Martin is the vinyl scavenger, and let's see what kind of vinyls I expect to go scavenge when I go out vinyl scavenging. Well, there's a fellow I'm always on the lookout for, and this is Stefan Grappelli. He recorded with Django Reinhardt in the 1930s. Grappelli played the violin while the mangled fingers of Django strummed and plucked and picked the guitar. This time, since Django had passed on, we got Stefan Grappelli recording here with David Grisman, the mandolin guitar player, and I've got this nice collection here. This is a duplicate copy I picked up. You can't pass this up when you find this, and may go on to my brother in North Carolina here. Always on the lookout for Stefan Grappelli. It's nice to hear somebody from the 78 RPM era get a chance to do some recording with good modern production here. Good stuff. What else do I expect to find? Oh, I gotta move something down here. I tried filming this last night, and I spilled some iced tea on the carpet down there, and I think I got the stain out. I'm reshooting the video. Got a little distracted. I'll keep an eye out for folks like Henry Mancini. There's a wonderful living stereo copy of Peter Gunn soundtrack. I can't pass this one up when I find it clean. It's just another one that I think I'll probably pass along to my brother. Do like these like mid-century jazzy mass-produced records that they're wonderful to listen to in their own right, but also great background music. Oh, what else do I expect? I'm not saying this lightly. I expect to find these things when I go out looking. I don't take for granted, but it's been quite a while since I've walked away from a big clearance section without having a decent haul. So what kinds of things do I expect to find? A lot of times things that other people don't want. Like country music. Now, this is not that country music that we all know and hate. This is country music that you maybe not be familiar with. The more traditional stuff. Here we got traditional's a relative term. It's not like this is an ancient art form. But here we have the great fiddle player Johnny Gimbel, and these CMH. Yeah, my brain transposes letters since the COVID. We got these wonderful CMH releases here that Johnny would play on there. Look at that, liner notes aplenty, and haven't read these yet, but may need to purchase a pair of readers from the local drugstore, and then I can read about Texas fiddling and the Texas fiddlers. A nice little essay here, and There's Johnny looking friendly with his fiddle there. I always expect to find country records when I go out scavenging here in Dallas, Texas. What else do I expect to find? Not as plentiful as the country, but there's a nearby state, Louisiana, and these Louisiana artists. This was a Warner Brothers. This fella, Doug Kershaw, did get some major record releases, but look at that. This is something that'll pop up, and you can wait around to find a nice clean copy of this in clearance. Doug Kershaw, the fiddler, and it's got this American Cajun glossary, so that if you're not someone who is from these parts or has moved into these parts or adjacent to these parts as I am, you can learn what on earth these folks are talking about, like Acadia or Jolet Blanc. My goodness gracious, it's not part of my everyday speech to hear these things. Anyway, what else do I expect to find when I'm out digging? I expect to find uncool jazz records that people don't want to touch or don't think of picking up. This one is this Andre Previn. You often find his jazz records in the clearance section, and here we have Andre Previn and his pals. Of course, Andre Previn also, was a classical artist and did some film work. Quite a heavily recorded gentleman. Here's Pal Joey on Contemporary, 1957. This is part one, or volume one, from the. Does a lot of these tunes from the Pal Joey soundtrack. Starts off with "I Could Write a Book." We've got "Bewitched," and some of the heavy hitters from that soundtrack, that film, that musical. They've got to be appearing on volume 2, or maybe there was a volume 3. But anyway, it's a nice contemporary release, probably around the VG range, but plays nicely enough to enjoy. And who are these other characters? Shelly Manne and Red Mitchell. Not a bad outing there. Uncool jazz that often gets left behind, can be found on the cheap. What else do I expect to find when I go out scavenging? I expect to find Neville Mariner and other classical records. This one's a bit of an oddball. This is Tommy Riley harmonica with Neville Mariner and the Academy of St. Martin in the Fields. This one, it's a bit of an odd listen. Sounds, I'm getting the glare. Sounds quite a bit like a film score. Here, there's that harmonica. An interesting pickup on Argo. I do like Argo. What else do I expect to find when I go out scavenging? I expect to find some folk stuff, on a fairly regular basis. Here we have the Battlefield Band on Flying Fish. Brian McNeil over here from the Battlefield Band was a regular at the he played the festivals here in North Texas. See him at the Scottish festival, and he'd organize the big fiddle faddle event on Saturday nights. They'd have the big fiddler jam session, and then he'd do his solo sets and sit in with a lot of the other folkies. Very good stuff here. And he tells stories about things like this van that he traveled around in with the Battlefield Band. Or maybe that's just a van from the photo shoot. I don't know. I don't think they would set up wooden chairs and jam in the fields. Oh, not to mention the kitchen table right there. That's probably something the photographer arranged. Um, Another thing that'll happen from time to time, with not great regularity, is someone will bring in a record collection that aligns with my tastes, and for one reason or another, I bumped the tripod with my knee. For one reason or another, the records will be priced cheaply to move, and here was a recent little find I stumbled upon. Somebody brought in their Fats Domino collection, and I imagine this was owned by a fella named Davis who owned a large black permanent marker that, look at how tight that corner is. These are nice Imperial, not the solid color label, but nice early Imperial pressings. Clean. This is kind of like kids' music, but it's not as childish as other young people's artists at the time. Fats Domino, not as collectible as perhaps he could be, but anyway, yeah, these are fun records to have picked up and to have found them so clean, and courtesy of Mr. Davis's heavy black marker, I think I was able to get a nice price on this little Fats Wall. Was I saying Fats Waller? Fats Domino. I might have been saying Fats Waller. I like Fats Waller quite a bit. I have more Fats Waller than Fats Domino, but got more Fats Domino. They call these folks Fats because they were overweight. Fats Domino sings, million record hits. Terrible cover art here with the awful proportion on his head there. Anyway, some more Fats. Interesting pose right there. I don't know what the photographer would have to say to you to make you pose that way. Just an odd thing. That's silly. There's a more dignified, it's not a great cover, but it's a more dignified pose there. Just sit joyfully at the piano and look in the direction of the camera. And then here, Fats is not on Imperial anymore. He's on that, where to go, ABC Paramount. All right, so that's the kind of thing I expect to find. Now, what do I look out for? I'm always on the lookout for boxed sets, because your value there is usually going to be the ratio will be in your favor. Oh, I heard some CDs making noise in that box. So boxed sets or box sets are something I look for. This is a very heavy box. This is look at that. Oh, they're digitally remastered. I don't let that scare you too much. These sound pretty good. 16 record set of Benny Goodman in this hefty box. Now sadly it's white. It's harder to keep this nice over the decades. But do you expect to pay for 16 records worth of records when you buy a boxed set from the 80s? No, you don't. You don't expect to pay much at all, because that shop, they want to get rid of this thing. It takes up a lot of shelf space, and if you put this in the jazz, Benny's going to be competing with Stan Getz or other folks there that they might be able to get more money for. Here we go, Benny Goodman box set. Oh, what a wonderful Scavenger there. Took it home and showed it love. It's nice RCA Victor era stuff. I like that fun band. And then classical records often come in boxes, and they can be found cheaply. And here's one such box that I picked up cheaply here. Now you look at that, nothing fancy. There's a fella named Heinrich Shearing there with the violin, and this I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, Ingrid Hobler. I didn't look her up to pronounce her name. But there they are in this humble, plain Philips box. But Discogs tells me that the median value on this is $209. Why on earth would somebody pay $209 for this? Let me open it up and see if I can find $209 worth of stuff in here. That's not a booklet that I would spend $209 on. It's just, is it glued or stapled together? Stapled. That's just 2 sheets of paper. Look at that. Nothing to speak of there. There's 6 of these things. No splatter. That doesn't look like 180 gram to me right there. It is a Dutch pressing, not that Italian stuff. I've stopped buying any Philips on Italian pressings. I just don't care for them as much. But why would a classical box set be going for $209? Probably the music. I think people are saying, hey, that's a good sounding performance. That's a good enough sounding pressing. Let's spend $209 on this. So that's one of the things I like about Discogs. Not the thought of striking it rich as a scavenger, but I think with classical music, it does inform you what recordings or what records may be of good listening quality, and there you have it. So you got a scavenged gem because people don't like classical music all that much. Anyway, sometimes you do come across gems. Here's one, something I don't expect to go out and say, you know what, I'm gonna pull a Goldberg Variations from Glenn Gould for 50 cents. But there it happened. A nice pickup. And you do find these things from time to time, and that's one of the joys of scavenging. So you got a historical significance that adds a little bit of fun to it. I do like Glenn Gould quite a bit. He certainly doesn't adhere to tradition as much as other performers that I enjoy, but I don't think he's going so far out there that he's doing anything that he needs to be scolded for. I don't even mind those hums and throat noises all that much. That's a pretty cool cover too. Glenn Gould brought some color to this world. Another thing I like to find when I'm out scavenging. Coincidentally, this is another 50-cent pickup. It's interesting because these 50-cent items were somebody went out of their way to mark these down to 50 cents when other clearance items were $1 or $2. Like this is, I took it out of the plastic. This was so undesirable to somebody that no one would ever want this Verve 2LP set, this live show from the Hollywood Bowl. I do love the Hollywood Bowl. Let's see who we had here now. Anybody? I saw this fellow Ray Brown at the Hollywood Bowl come in and Diana Krall. Diana Krall sure sounds like a big nobody in the business compared to some of the names on here. Could you imagine going to the Hollywood Bowl and they're like, oh, we got Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. You think, oh my goodness, Ella Fitzgerald would have been enough, but Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald, and then they say, but wait, there's more. Oh, what else could there be? Oh, Art Tatum is also gonna show up. Art Tatum, holy smokes! Oh yeah, and Art Tatum's probably so good you won't be excited about the next guy that'll be here, Oscar Peterson. Yeah, he's got some other folks with him. Reliable side man there, Harry Edison. We got Flip Phillips, Illinois Jacquet, Roy Eldridge, Herb Ellis, Ray Brown, and last on the bottom right there, Buddy Rich is gonna show up because you'll be so tired of hearing all that piano playing with Oscar Peterson and Art Tatum that somebody just needs to make some racket on the drums for a change of pace. Good golly, what a wonderful evening. And it did sell out. That's good. That's good to know. Would have been an awful shame if that show hadn't sold out. Anyway, that was a good bill. The best bill I saw at the Hollywood Bowl was Dave Brubeck, McCoy Tyner, and Ramsey Lewis. That was a wonderful night, I think, back in 2004. Let's see what we got next. What else do I expect when I go scavenging? Well, I expect to find albums like this. I'm not specifically wonderful Star Day releases of terrific recording artists like Cowboy Copas on high fidelity, authentic high fidelity, hopefully not recorded in stereo and then converted to high fidelity. But what do I expect to find are seam splits. That's about as seam split as you can get right there. And the cover still looks pretty. But the seam split, it'll drive the price down. It decreases the collectability of the record. And sometimes you get these seam splits and damaged covers where, bumped the tripod again. They don't affect the condition of the record. It's not like this thing got muddy or infected with a mold. So got this nice little Star Day record and came in a nice seam split. But look, you can hardly notice that seam split anymore, can you? If I just held that up, you wouldn't say, oh, dang it, there's a seam split. I think I'll pass on that one. No, you take it home, you put it in a bag, and you got yourself a good deal there. Cheap stuff. They call that cheap heat. I've never called anything cheap heat. It's silly. It's not as bad as when people say OG records. Another thing I expect to find, not necessarily Otis Redding singing about the dock of the bay. This Volt Records. You find something that's nice, and this record, it's clean. But when I got it, it was filthy. It was covered with dirt. And sometimes that'll happen. A record shop will get a record that's covered in dirt for one reason or another. It's not worth their time and effort to clean it. They just throw it out there for the public to find and take a little bit of a risk on. It's possible that dirt could be concealing a scratch. As a gentleman on Facebook pointed out, hey, you got to watch out. You can't return these records if they're in the clearance. It's non-refundable. But you know what? Not a big deal. Got to take this home for a clearance price, And did I get clearance quality? No, I did not. It was fun. When you don't walk into a store thinking, hey, you know that song I've been hearing on the radio all my life, that Dock at the Bay song, I'm gonna be taking that home with me today. I've got it on CD, but not the same. Oh, speaking of CDs, we're getting near the end of this video. If you're starting to lose patience with me, I found these CDs one time I was digging around. The Musical Heritage. I always expect to find something from Musical Heritage Society. These were Bach recordings, and I was looking at Bach. It says Complete Harpsichord Concerti Volume 1. Volume 2, I think I've got it at work, but here's Volume 3, and then like Goldberg variations. These are all together in one little section, and thought, I've got enough Bach and Musical Heritage releases of Bach, and I do like the harpsichord music, the complete harpsichord concerto. Do I really need to take these and Volume 2 home? And I don't know this fella, Gustav Leonard. I wonder if he's good. I thought, I'll take a chance on this. If he is good, I'd hate to miss out. And it turns out, this Gustav Leonard fellow was very good, and I like him a lot. And so one of the things that happens when you scavenge, you can take little risks like this, and then find things you can fall in love with, like the harpsichord playing of Gustav Leonard. And something about Gustav Leonard? He also recorded vinyl records. He probably didn't call them vinyl records. English was not his native language, and he would have sounded silly because he would have known that you would have assumed that these were vinyl records, because that's what all of these records were at the time. Here we have, look at that, Gustav Leonard on vinyl records in a cheap box set, playing the music of Bach, and it's got this this Edison there. Notice, fella just didn't kill elephants. He let you know if a record was a great one. So a wonderful collection here. Gustav Leonard playing some Bach harpsichord music. What else? Hey, I'll skip a few things here. I've been self-indulgent enough. These were just some things that I learned to like because I found them on the clearance cheap, and discovered them. But here's something that happens when you're out digging is you can find something like this. Jimmy Rushing. I've taken it out of the sleeve. I like Jimmy Rushing. I first heard him on some Count Basie 78s. Now this one I got for, this had been reduced several times before it found its way to me. There's that stain I wasn't able to remove, but this was a dirty find, and cleaned it up and enjoyed it. This is Jimmy Rushing with Buck Clayton, and thought, hey, this is so much fun. Nobody wanted this. I'm wondering, there's that other, I like Jimmy Rushing. I pick up his CDs. There's what if Jimmy Rushing's not as collectible as I assume he should be? There's that one Jimmy Rushing album I know I would really like to upgrade to and get a record copy. The Jazz Odyssey. Could it be available on eBay for a decent price? Oh, sure was. Look at that. Beautiful record. Jimmy Rushing, the Jazz Odyssey, also with Buck Clayton. Same cover artist there. Same illustrator, I should say. Look at that. Looks like he's escaping from New Orleans. What a wonderful record this is. And there's the eBay invoice. Beautiful 6i. If I had a lot of fun playing this one since I got it, you betcha. And that wonderful scavenging experience was able to inform a a purchase of a regularly priced item, which that thing there, it time traveled all the way from the 1950s to be purchased by me through the internet, using that old Elon Musk platform, PayPal. Amazing. Still, with all that, was cheaper than a new Vinyl Me Please record. So I thought, well, what about other records of this time? Are they going to be as affordable? Well, some are, some aren't. And sometimes when you're out digging, you think you got to make a compromise. Oh, bumped. Been listening to another CD I had, the Duke Ellington Louis Armstrong sessions, and thought when I got it for in a clearance CD section, I thought surely this can't be that great. There are probably a couple of artists they're just going to get together for a cash grab, dial it in, maybe have some contemporary sounds added to the recording session to make it hip for the young people, because they got some producer that's got grand ideas for taking some tired old geniuses and making them fresh for the kids. Fortunately, 61 was too early for them to do Beatles covers. But anyway, that's the Louis Armstrong Duke Ellington collection. Turned out to be a joy. I thought, I'm going to go find these on the cheap on eBay. It turns out it doesn't work that way. They've become collectible. So what I did was, here's another scavenging hack, is sometimes they take a good series of recordings and then they re-release them with terrible album covers. So here we have this Echoes series that Roulette put out, and here we've got this terrible artwork on the cover. These are like busts of Duke Ellington and Louis Armstrong kind of hanging out next to each other. But you can see on the back they got their summit sessions or session put out here on affordable, uncollectible, cheap heat on Roulette. Some paper fell out. Oh, the eBay invoice. But then here's the thing that happens to me when I buy something on eBay that I've been looking around and haven't been able to find. Then I find it for a very cheap price in the wild, and I don't believe this is like the law of attraction or anything like that. If anything, it's the like the law of mockery that hey, if you had just been a little bit more patient, Jacob, this would have come your way. Ha ha ha! The universe laughs at you, but I don't mind. I said, laugh at me all you like, universe. I've got this wonderful double record that sounds good, and I find this in the wild, also much cheaper than the price of a Vinyl Me Please record. That is cheaper than the cost of a new CD. Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington, dynamic stereo. A little bit of damage going on, but there, nice Roulette record. And this sounds even better than this one that I just showed you. Got the best of both worlds here. The universe is just smiling on me. All right, that's enough vinyl and CD for you. We're at 39 minutes, but hey, I just got up from a 5-hour nap, and I don't think I'm going to bed anytime soon. Let's see if I got something that I've pulled from the shelf to show you, and I sure did. Got this little Nemo book. So the last time I made one of these videos, I accidentally referred to this as Finding Nemo, and well, that's awfully silly. I think you could probably understand how that mistake was made. But anyway, this is a Little Nemo, a collection of Winsor McCay's cartoons from 1905 to 1914, and anyway, I'd love to show you some of the artwork in here. This fellow Winsor McCay, pioneering animator and 33rd degree Freemason, according to Wikipedia. But some of his artwork is not up to our modern standards of decency, and you have to be careful with relics of the past, how you share them publicly, and I don't want to frighten any child viewers that might stumble upon this channel. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you again if you made it this far. In the next video I make for the Vinyl Scavengers contest, I'll show you my my most prized vinyl scavenge, perhaps the most prized record in my whole collection. And gosh, I haven't even looked up what it's going for on Discogs. Anyway, thanks again.